Iberia 357 357 Heavy, you are 55 miles south. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Expect ILS Yankee runway 16 approach via Delta transition. Clear to Delta.
Keep speed not above 185 knots. Expect ILS Yankee runway 16 approach via Delta transition. Clear to Delta. Iberia 357 357 Heavy.
Iberia 357 357 Heavy, descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Iberia 357 357 Heavy.
Iberia 357 357 Heavy, please expedite your descent 3,000 feet. Jetstar 700 Heavy, you are 2 tree miles southeast. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Expect ILS Yankee runway 16 approach via Delta transition. Clear to Delta. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Expect ILS Yankee runway 16 approach via Delta transition. Clear to Delta Jetstar 700 Heavy. Jetstar 700, heavy contact Melbourne Center on 124.0. Good day. Going to 124.0, Jetstar 700 heavy. Iberia 357-357 heavy contact Melbourne approach on 132.0. Good day.
132.0 Iberia 357-357 heavy. Melbourne approach Iberia 357-357 heavy is at 9,400 feet descending 3,000 feet.
Iberia 357-357 heavy Melbourne approach altimeter tree 0 decimal. For tree, continue to Belta. Melbourne approach Rex 9er heavy is passing 5,500 feet, climbing 7,700 feet. Rex 9er heavy Melbourne approach altimeter tree 0 decimal. For tree, continue to BOYSE. Velocity 812 heavy traffic is 2 o'clock 4 miles at 6,300 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Iberia 357-357 heavy traffic is 2 o'clock 4 miles at 3,700 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Velocity 812 heavy climb and maintain 5,800 feet.
Iberia 357-357 heavy have the traffic.
Climb and maintain 5,800 feet velocity 812 heavy. Iberia 357-357 heavy traffic is 10 o'clock 4 miles at 1,900 feet Cessna Skyhawk. Report them in sight. Velocity 812 heavy contact Melbourne Center on 135.7. Good day.
Iberia 357-357 heavy have the traffic.
Going to 135.7 velocity 812 heavy. Iberia 357 357 heavy traffic is 12 o'clock 4 miles at 3,300 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Iberia 357 357 Heavy have the traffic.
Rex 9er heavy traffic is 2 o'clock 2 miles at 4,800 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Rex 9er heavy traffic in sight. Melburne approach velocity 812 heavy, 5,800 feet. Velocity 812 heavy, Melburne approach altimeter tree 0 decimal, 44 continue to BOYSE. Velocity 812 heavy, contact Melbourne Center on 135.7. Good day. Rex 9er heavy climb and maintain 7,700 feet. 135.7 velocity 812 heavy. Climb and maintain 7,700 feet Rex 9er heavy.
2,500.
Jetstar 700 Heavy, you are 11 miles north of Melbourne. Contact Melbourne Tower on 120.5 when inbound on the approach. Tower on 120.5, Jetstar 700 Heavy. Melbourne approach Jetstar 563 Heavy is at 4,100 feet, descending 3,000 feet. Jetstar 563 Heavy, Melbourne approach altimeter tree 0 decimal, 44 continue to Delta. Melbourne approach Qantas 417 Heavy is passing 7,500 feet, climbing 14,000 feet. Rex 9er Heavy, contact Melbourne Center on 135.7. Good day. Qantas 417 Heavy, Melbourne approach altimeter tree 0 decimal, 44 continue to Bubiv. Going to 135.7 Rex 9er Heavy. Jetstar 563 Heavy traffic is 12 o'clock 4 miles at 3,000 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Jetstar 563 Heavy traffic in sight. Qantas 417 Heavy, you are 16 miles northeast. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Expect ILS Yankee runway 16 approach via Belta transition. Clear to Belta. 3,000 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Expect ILS Yankee runway 16 approach via Delta transition. Cleared to Delta Qantas 417 Heavy. Jetstar Flight 6 Tree Heavy, you are 11 miles north of Melbourne. Contact Melbourne Tower on 120.5 when inbound. Tower on 120.5, Jetstar 5 6 Tree Heavy. Iberia 357 357 Heavy descend and maintain 2,900 feet.
Descend and maintain 2,900 feet. Iberia 357 357 Heavy.
Melbourne approach velocity 814 Heavy is at 7,100 feet, climbing 16,000 feet. Velocity 814 Heavy, Melbourne approach altimeter 30.44, continue to Buviv. Iberia 357 357 Heavy traffic is 7 o'clock 4 miles at 5,900 feet, Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Iberia 357 357 Heavy, have the traffic.
Velocity 814 Heavy, you are 16 miles northeast. Climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Expect ILS Yankee runway 16 approach via Delta transition. Cleared to Delta. Qantas 417 Heavy, you are 11 miles north of Melbourne. Contact Melbourne Tower on 120.5 when inbound. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Expect ILS Yankee runway 16 approach via Delta transition. Cleared to Delta velocity 814 Heavy. Velocity 814 Heavy traffic is 3 o'clock 4 miles at 2,800 feet, Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Tower on 120.5 Qantas 417 Heavy. Velocity 814 Heavy traffic in sight. Velocity 814 Heavy traffic is 12 o'clock 4 miles at 4,000 feet, Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Melbourne approach velocity 816 Heavy is at 7,700 feet, climbing 17,000 feet. Velocity 816 Heavy, Melbourne approach altimeter 30.44, continue to Buviv. Velocity 814 Heavy, have the traffic. Iberia 357 357 heavy traffic is 11 o'clock 3 miles at 4,600 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Iberia 357 357 heavy traffic in sight.
Velocity 814 heavy traffic is 6 o'clock 3 miles at 4,200 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Velocity 816 heavy, you are 16 miles northeast. Climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Expect ILS Yankee runway 16 approach via Delta transition. Cleared to Delta. Velocity 814 heavy, you are 11 miles north of Melbourne. Contact Melburne Tower on 120.5 when inbound. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Expect ILS Yankee runway 16 approach via Delta transition. Cleared to Delta velocity 816 heavy. Tower on 120.5 velocity 814 heavy. Iberia 357 357 heavy traffic is 1 o'clock 4 miles at 2,700 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Iberia 357 357 heavy traffic is 6 o'clock 1 miles at 4,000 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Iberia 357 357 heavy traffic alert. 6 o'clock, less than 1 mile, 3,700 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Iberia 357 357 heavy traffic in sight.
Iberia 357 357 heavy traffic is 7 o'clock 3 miles at 4,200 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Iberia 357 357 heavy have the Airbus A20N in sight.
Iberia 357 357 heavy, you are 11 miles north of Melbourne. Contact Melbourne Tower on 120.5 when inbound on the approach. Velocity 816 heavy traffic is 10 o'clock 3 miles at 3,100 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Tower on 120.5 Iberia 357 357 heavy. Melbourne Tower Iberia 357 357 heavy 10 miles north inbound ILS Yankee runway 16 approach.
Iberia 357 357 heavy Melbourne Tower. Altimeter 30.44, wind calm cleared ILS Yankee runway 16 approach.
Cleared ILS Yankee runway 16 approach Iberia 357 357 heavy.
Melbourne Tower velocity 816 heavy 1 miles north, inbound ILS Yankee runway 16 approach. Velocity 816 heavy Melbourne Tower. Altimeter 30.44, wind calm cleared ILS Yankee runway 16 approach. Velocity 812 heavy exit runway when able. Cleared ILS Yankee runway 16 approach velocity 816 heavy. Velocity 812 heavy contact ground on 121.7. Iberia 357 357 heavy, number tree for landing. Follow the aircraft on final. Wind calm cleared to land runway 16.
Clear to land runway 16 number 3 Iberia 357 tree 57 heavy.
Melburne Tower Rex Tree 76 tree heavy, ready for IFR departure runway 16. Rex Tree 76 tree heavy, hold short runway 16. Traffic is Airbus A20N on the runway. Velocity 814 heavy, exit runway when able. Velocity 816 heavy, number 4 for landing. Follow the aircraft on final. Wind calm, clear to land runway 16. Velocity 814 heavy, contact ground on 121.7. Clear to land runway 16 number 4, velocity 816 heavy. Melbourne Tower Qantas 417 heavy 6 miles north, inbound ILS Yankee, runway 16 approach. Rex Tree 76 tree heavy, altimeter 30.45, wind calm, traffic is Airbus A20N on final. Cleared for takeoff runway 16. Qantas 417 heavy, Melbourne Tower. Altimeter 30.45, wind calm, cleared ILS Yankee, runway 16 approach.
300.
Qantas 417 heavy, number 2 for landing. Follow the aircraft on final. Wind calm, cleared to land runway 16. Iberia 357 tree 57 heavy, go around.
100.
Cleared to land runway 16 number 2, Qantas 417 heavy.
20.
Going to 121.7, velocity 812 heavy. 121.7, velocity 814 heavy. Velocity 816 heavy, go around. Cleared for takeoff runway 16 Rex Tree 76 tree heavy. Melbourne Tower Jetstar 4 tree 4 heavy at runway 16, ready for departure IFR to Cooley. Velocity 816 heavy, contact Melbourne approach on 132.0. Good day. Jetstar 4 tree 4 heavy, hold short runway 16. 132.0, velocity 816 heavy.
Melbourne ground Iberia 357 tree 57 heavy, request taxi to the gate.
Iberia 357 tree 57 heavy, taxi to gate Echo 8 using taxiway Golf.
Taxiing to gate Echo 8 using taxiway Golf, Iberia 357 tree 57 heavy.
Melbourne ground Jetstar 4 tree heavy with India ready to taxi IFR. Jetstar 4 tree heavy, taxi to and hold short of runway 16 using taxiway uniform Alpha cross runway 27 Alpha Bravo. Contact tower on 120.5 when ready. Taxiing, hold short runway 16 via taxiway uniform Alpha cross runway 27 Alpha Bravo, Jetstar 4 tree heavy. Melbourne ground Qantas 1050 heavy IFR to Yankee Bravo Romeo Mike, ready to copy. Qantas 1050 heavy is cleared to Yankee Bravo Romeo Mike Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 16, climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Departure frequency is 132.0, squawk 6017. Melbourne ground velocity 129 tree heavy, ready to copy IFR clearance to Cairns. Velocity 129 tree heavy is cleared to Cairns Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 16, climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure frequency is 132.0, squawk 674 tree. Melbourne ground velocity, 733 heavy, ready to copy IFR clearance to Cooley. Velocity 733 heavy is cleared to Cooley Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 16 climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Departure frequency is 132.0, squawk 0366. Velocity 129er tree heavy cleared to Cairns Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 16 climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure on 118.9er, squawk 674 tree. Velocity 129er tree heavy, read back correct. Contact ground on 121.7. Good day. Velocity 733 heavy, cleared to Cooley Airport as filed. Qantas 1050 heavy, did you copy? Qantas 1050 heavy, cleared to Yankee Bravo Romeo Mike Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 16 climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Departure on 118.9er, squawk 6017. Melbourne ground, Qantas 610 heavy IFR to Brisbane, ready to copy. Qantas 610 heavy is cleared to Brisbane Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 16 climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Departure frequency is 132.0, squawk 5417. Melbourne ground velocity 129er tree heavy, requesting pushback. Velocity 129er tree heavy, pushback request accepted. Qantas 610 heavy, cleared to Brisbane Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 16 climb and maintain 12,000 feet. Departure on 118.9er, squawk 5417. Qantas 610 heavy, readback is correct. Contact ground on 121.7 when ready to taxi. Good day.
Melbourne ground Iberia 357-357 heavy, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Iberia 357-357 heavy, the jetway is going to be connected. Melbourne ground velocity 129er tree heavy, requesting the end of pushback. Velocity 129er tree heavy, request to end pushback received. Melbourne ground velocity 129er tree heavy with India, ready to taxi.